Dawn Staley, she said that people always ask her the difference between this year's team and last year's team. And she said that the fight that happened in the SEC championship game would have never happened because you would have been the
Oh,
referee
for
and
sure.
escalator.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, we don't have to do that. I'm like, let's just hoop and be happy. Like,
So, I mean, you're almost kind of answering my next question, but it was going to be what do you think went wrong in that game from the opening tip to the finish? Like, what was the turning point?
listen, if everybody really watched the game, you know that there was smack talk from like the opening tip. And I think that if there's going to be smack talk, like that's totally cool because we're competitors and like we don't limit smack talk to certain players, certain teams. But if we're going to do that, then we also need to make sure there's like, we have to control it. And the controlling part definitely comes from the refs. But just understand that like you have two competitive teams here, like nobody's gonna want to back down, but you can't let stuff go on. Like I feel like there are a lot of videos right now, even like servicing of like things that happened in the game. And I just think like you have to be able to put a stop to it early
Mhm.
because now it's kind of like there's a buildup, like whether that's pulling a jersey or pushing someone off. Like I just think there's a buildup. But I mean, it's just hard. Like I know that's what everyone's talking about, but like before that or even after that, like it was great
It
basketball.
was
And I
great.
think that
I agree.
still has to be the conversation, the focus, because like you want teams that are competitive. Like you want like really good games that are like, ooh, am I gonna pee my pants? Ooh, like I don't know what to do. Like I know my mom was at that game probably about to pee her pants because she was nervous. Like, but that's the kind of excitement that you want. Like, there's so much talk about women's basketball right now. There's so much conversation. There's so much activation going on around that. This is what you want. Like, you don't have to focus in on the fight. And I know that everybody wants to focus on the little scruffle.
Okay, so finally, tell me about what you have going on with Coke Zero Sugar.
They're really giving you that fan feel, right? Like fan work, it's just these ways, thirsty work. Like you are hungry for it, you are thirsty for it. Like you want your team to win. You're cheering on so hard, and I think that's what I'm excited about because the way I root for my Gamecocks, I don't even know if the way I look at that commercial is really enough. Like I am, it's so crazy. Like I am jumping up. I remember when I went to LSU game, like they had me on the camera. I'm like, my ponytail's about to fall out. I'm like cheering. Like, but that's what it is. Like that spans all over the country.
Yeah.
And so it's really special for them to really get that point across of like how much our fans support women's sports and support their teams, especially around March Madness. I mean, it's really special.